Hey, Stoney here with another game of Mechabellum, and in this game you'll see one of these players create an unstoppable late game force. Alright, let's jump into it. At the bottom here we have Wush playing as a speed specialist, and he's up against Fifth Wheel playing as a marksman specialist. Right off the bat we have Sledgehammer's marksman up against Tarantula and Fans. This is a bit of a tough one to call in the first round. I think the Tarantulas, they're naturally pretty good against the Sledgehammers. However, with the triple marksman, if the marksman can get onto the Tarantulas, then they will have a pretty good chance. But I'm going to have to give this one to our red player, not only because he's got the marksman, he's also got the superior chaff with the 2 additional crawlers coming in from the side. All right, round 2, we're going to have Typhoons against Wasp. I was going to say, like, whenever you see a Wasp car in the same group as Typhoons, you don't really want to take the Wasp because you're going to get hard counter pretty hard. But it looks like there's going to be a level 2 Wasp here with the Typhoon. It feels like the red player is confident that his orange man is going to take care of the Typhoon before the Wasp gets completely destroyed. The Typhoon is a good pick for blue, mostly because blue really did lack chaff clear in the first game. So the Typhoon not only contributes to a bit of anti-air, but it also helps with chaff clear. The problem though is that we had a cheeky missile that got rid of the only chaff clear on the left side of the board for blue. And with that, these wasps are just going to come in, take tower. However, we got 2 crawlers that managed to take on the orange man. That was a great move here. Alright, Typhoon standing strong. Typhoon are getting onto this Wasp, and if they can take down this group, then they should be able to get a level. But it looks like with this combined might between the Typhoons, with the Tarantula and the Wasp, is not going to happen. Subsidized Steel Balls. What a great card. Alright, so here's some strategy that you can be planning here, right away. So first we got the Wasp, and once you show the Wasp, it's going to get your opponent a little bit nervous, right? Wasp is one of those units that if you scale and you level, they can be very powerful. What ended up happening is that the opponent here in blue is responding pretty heavily into the Wasp threat. But not only Wasp, right? He had 2 problems. He had a Wasp problem. He also had a chaff problem. So it made sense to just start putting down groups of Typhoons. But with our red player, now knowing that Typhoon is on the board and Typhoons are actually pretty tanky, he picked the subsidized steel ball with the intention of going with late game steel balls to deal with the Typhoons. Steel balls are great against Typhoons for a couple of reasons. First of all, steel balls are very good against units that are high HP and also low model count. So when I say model count, I mean how many units there are in a squad, right? So steel balls are excellent against giants because there's only 1 of them per squad. They're excellent against Typhoons because there's only 2 of them per squad. They're still decent against Sledgehammers, even though there are 5 Sledgehammers per squad, and then the steel balls are terrible against chaffs when there's like 20 of them per squad, right? Another reason why steel balls are great against Typhoons is because of the armor technology. Typhoons are kind of like the big brother of Mustangs, and they also suffer from the same problems as Mustangs, is that they deal damage very fast, but not a lot of damage. So a level 1 steel ball with armor will be able to tank 60 of this 84 damage from a Typhoon, effectively cutting its damage down to about 20%. So that's pretty big, right? And once you get level 2 steel balls, you can essentially negate the damage from this Typhoon. So if they decided to go even more Typhoons, and it seems like that's going to be the case, right? With the Typhoon is already getting tech with shield, it's going to create a lot of problems. Alright, red is responding with field maintenance on the Tarantulas. This is a good option, especially against units like Typhoons who shoot very fast, but they're lacking in burst damage, allowing the Tarantulas to essentially heal whatever damage has been done. So a pretty big round here for our red player. And if I were blue, I should start thinking about putting down Scorpions. Scorpions and Typhoons, they are a very potent combination. Scorpion essentially covers all the weaknesses of Typhoons, right? Low burst damage, low damage in general, inability to bust through shield, bust through armor. And with Scorpion, if you can get acid on them, it essentially triples the Typhoon's damage, making them a very effective killing machine. So yeah, the Sledgehammers, I think they're pretty useless. And there comes the Scorpions. Very good call. I will start selling these Sledgehammers because I don't think they belong in this competition anymore. They're not contributing nearly enough to Chapter. They're not tanky enough to deal with these Tarantulas, and especially with Stonecrawlers already on the field. So I will be starting selling Sledgehammers and just go really hard into the Scorpions. And here's red coming in with a Mustang ball composition coming all the way from back line here. These steel balls, they already have armor on them, which means once they engage with these Typhoons, they're not going to take any damage, at least not from the level 1 Typhoons. Level 2 Typhoons can still tickle these steel balls, and of course the Scorpions, they are the natural predators of steel balls. But I don't think it matters, at least for this round, because once you get rid of these Typhoons, there's not going to be any Chapter, and the steel balls will spend days shooting at these fans. The Stonecrawlers are also a great touch, right? When you're looking at the board and you're deciding when should I put down some Stonecrawlers, well, if your units and your opponent's units are kind of stuck in this battle line here for a very long period of time because neither of them has enough burst damage to get the other guy down very quickly, then that's when you need Stonecrawlers. Ooh, that single level 1 Mustang winning the round for red here. Alright. Laser sight, always a good item to pick. You can have them on the Mustangs, you can have them on anything else, right? It's just really good. We have a Vulcan coming down with laser sight right there in the middle. Not entirely sure what the purpose for that is. I don't know if he needs even more Chapter. He already has 3 squads of Typhoons. I think he can just continue to add on Typhoons. It will be just fine. I think what they're really worried about is this sort of late game chaff, right? Namely these level 3 Crawlers on the side, and also these Mustangs are just coming in super late. If I were to play Blues round, instead of getting for Vulcans, I would just go with Stonecrawlers. I think Stonecrawlers are great, especially against like boards like these with so many fans and Tarantulas. They can contribute a lot in the initial rounds. Vulcan is a bit of a imperfect solution, right? Because yes, in round 1 you're going to be able to, kind of deal with these units here, but Vulcan does not contribute to killing these Tarantulas, which now with heal. Vulcan does not contribute to killing the steel balls, which has armor, both of which Stonecrawlers would be much better at. And Stonecrawlers, because they're so tucked away at the back, they can actually do a tremendous amount of damage to the units that are coming in late. So yeah, Vulcan, yes, you can see that they're kind of working here, but they're not. They could be a lot better, is what I'm saying. Alright, excellent round for blue. What is he going to do the next round? Because I can pretty much see what red is going to play, right? He already had 2 squads of steel balls. They're doing decent. They need something in front of them so that they can get away from the Scorpions. Alright, so it's going to be range on the Mustangs. Mustangs with range is going to provide a lot of firepower, especially very late into the round. We have early chaff clear in the form of mech rage on the Tarantulas, and they're also their primary tank because of just how beefy they are now with the field maintenance and higher level. We have even more early round chaff clear, but as you can see with these Arclights, they're just locking onto the round unit. And now this level 3 Crawler is going to walk in and destroy everything. I think this is the real MVP here. You may not look significant, but watch as these Crawlers just kind of, coming on. This one's got the missile, but they are really good at kind of destroying that one side. Typhoons, yeah, Typhoons, Vulcans continue to lock on these high-level Tarantulas, not able to bring it down. And because they're distracted, that allows red Steel Ball just kind of move in and clean up the board. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I got another one that's even better. Check it out, and I'll see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.